Hey, what's up, Exit the Matrix? Bob here. Hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, great night whenever you see this. I'm just on my way heading to work here early. So yeah, guys, today I wanted to probably do, honestly, the most important talk I've ever done. This is the most important subject and understanding that I can pass on to you. I've come to this realization, to this enlightenment, after searching my whole life. And I can tell you, I'm not a religious person. As far as politics goes, I don't choose a side. And I'm not one of these people that has the luxury of sitting around and meditating, an hour, 2 hours a day, every day, to supposedly reach enlightenment. But I've come to realize that enlightenment is actually super simple. The problem is that this world we've been born into, this matrix, has done everything it can to disempower us from the truth, to put us in a fear mindset so that we never find that enlightenment. A lot of people that subscribe to the more New Age religion, not religion, I'm sorry, that's a bad term, New Age spirituality. A lot of those people tend to follow more the Eastern teachings, maybe using yoga practices, and such, derived from the more Vedic teachings, Buddhist teachings and such. And then, of course, you got our brothers and sisters that ascribe to Christianity. And, of course, they think they're also enlightened, by following the words in the Bible, and the teachings of Yeshua. And I'm sure you would... I'm sure a Muslim would tell you they're enlightened too, or a Judean would also tell you the same thing. But I'm gonna contradict, but also simplify pretty much all of those teachings, because here's the thing: there's truth in all the ancient religions and teachings, philosophical teachings. However, there's also misdirection and fear-based mind control tactics embedded in all of those also. So, I just want you to understand, the last 6 months, I kind of took a hard turn and started going deeper, really trying to figure out what this matrix is, why we're here, and, what there is after this, after we exit this, or after we die. So I've been going really deep into, I've been listening to now hundreds of near-death experiences, out-of-body experiences, and what I found basically that what I've been able to glean from that has opened up the picture a lot more. It's made things a lot more clear. And these accounts are they all line up with each other. They're all different, but the underlying factors are all the same. The underlying message is all the same. And So I'm going to hit you right now with the ultimate truth that you've never maybe been partly told but not completely explained to you, is we are immortal spirit beings. We are immortal conscious energy. And we are fractals of God. And that God, that source of all creation and creativity, is not dictating our lives. That God is not watching you to judge you. It's not sending its angels to manipulate you. It's not writing books. This is all done by us that come to this realm. But you do not die. In fact, you've reincarnated on Earth many times. You've possibly incarnated in other realms, other worlds, other dimensions. You are a traveler. You are able to put your consciousness into different avatars, like the human body, to immerse yourself into different realities. It could be loosely described as a sort of a virtual reality video game that you're experiencing through the human avatar. And there is no judgment. When you exit this world, when you die, you don't carry karma with you. You don't get judged by God. He doesn't pull out the book of judgment and see, oh no, right before you died you didn't pray to Jesus, or I'm sorry, I really despise that made up Roman Catholic name, Yeshua. Oh, you didn't call on Yeshua and ask for forgiveness at the last second. Oh, you may have done it a few weeks before your death, but then you sinned, you cursed, and you thought that nurse's butt looked nice, and yep, sorry, you forgot to ask for forgiveness at that last second. Now your soul's gonna burn in eternity, with the devil. So I want to break this down some, and I know I'm probably offending everybody here, and that's fine, because you know what? The truth offends because it cuts like a knife through the BS that we've all been programmed and propagandized with. But it's very simple, people. You are the creator being. You are a God, essentially. And people say that's sacrilegious. That's exactly what Lucifer claimed, that he was God and all that. But you don't get it. I mean, we are fractals of God, of the source. We are creativity, consciousness incarnate in a human body. So you're a God. You could call yourself a little God if you want. We're the children of God, right? But what stops people from realizing this simple truth is that we've all been put under fear-based mind control. Everybody has. Every religion on earth has some type of fear-based mind control tactics put on its followers or believers. And that's because in this world there are certain entities that have stepped out of the bounds of just experiencing, and they want to control. Instead of creating, they want to destroy and control. And they're the ones who started these religions, or at least manipulated the original messages. Let's go on the Eastern side, for instance. The Buddhist, Hindu teachings. amazing, amazing truths in those teachings. I mean, going within, to find the truth, to go within yourself and realize yourself is to understand that you are a metaphysical, spiritual being having a human experience. And that's all true. A lot of great teachings, honestly, out of the Eastern traditions and religions. However, there's also this belief that, like, to become this, like, ascended spiritual being, that you've got to meditate all the time to find that inner voice, to ignore, the mind, and the distractions, and that ultimately, you can become a rainbow being, eventually, and ascend and not have to reincarnate here anymore and such. It's all BS, people. those guys, those yogis, those gurus that sit in their caves or sit there and meditate all day, every day, they're no more spiritual than you are. Don't you get it? We all come from the same home. They may have a little more understanding of the spirit, but we are all the same. We can all do the same things. We all have the same abilities. We all come from the same source. We all derive our abilities and power and consciousness from the same source. We are all essentially living in the mind of God, of the Creator. But there's this major hook with Eastern religions, and it's the push of karma. That you carry karma from one life to the next. That good thing, you carry good karma and you carry bad karma, negative and positive. And when you incarnate in your next life, things happen to you and interactions based on your past karma. So you've got to pay your karmic debts. If you have a lot of negative karma, you may, be born into a bad situation where you get abused and raped and all this such that happens to people, unfortunately, in this world, or born into a poor family or something. But that is the injection of these controllers. They want you afraid. They always want to limit your potentiality. They control the world through fear and propaganda. And that's how the Eastern world's controlled. They all believe that they're so afraid they're going to run up this karmic debt. Like, oh my God, I got to have more good karma to balance, to balance out the bad karma. If I'm a good citizen and I do everything the government tells me, and I meditate every day and I pray every day and I do good deeds, and oh yes, in the next life I could be a rich person, or I could be have great blessings and actually, a loving wife and children and such, and that'll be my karma being paid back to me in a good way. But if I'm really bad and all that, I might drop in the caste system, as in India, or I may, be in a bad situation in my next life and be tortured and stuff. It's all BS, people. That's all BS. That is BS. That's the propaganda used against the people that follow the Eastern philosophies. Now, derived in the Middle East, and now essentially mostly Western worlds, you've got the Judean-Christian belief system. Now, I'm not going to go into the Judean as much because Christians like to tie themselves to the Old Testament, even though essentially the Old Testament God is not the same God that Yeshua was teaching about. And the teachings of Yeshua were pure and good, I can tell you. He taught and learned in the mystery schools all around the world. He taught and learned in the Eastern temples. He traveled, he learned with the Druids in Britain and Ireland, in Northern Europe. He traveled the world. Yeshua did. He was an Essene. He was in the school of the Essenes. He learned in Egypt the mystery schools of Thoth, the Hermetic teachings. Yes, I know it sounds sacrilegious to you from the religious side, but there is many years of a gap there where Yeshua traveled the world, and the Bible doesn't tell you what he did in those travels. It's kind of funny, right? He just shows up, disappears, shows back up, enters Jerusalem. I mean, it's there's a reason for that, people. There's a reason for that. Trust me. Or don't trust me. I don't really care. So, as you know, this one's very simple to understand. Christians are the fear-based trauma, mind control they're put through is that if they don't ask or pray through Yeshua to ask God for forgiveness for their sins, that they're born into sin from the day they pop out of their mother, they're born into sin. That if you don't ask for forgiveness and you don't pray to Yeshua to intercede to the Godhead for you, to the Father for you, that you'll go to hell. Or, some believe that you'll just be, taught more, that there's like kind of a waiting room in heaven, that you'll be taught the truth, and you'll be given a second chance, to give allegiance to God and not follow, the devil and all that, and that, but essentially it's the same, people. Once again, fear-based, trauma-based mind control. It's, the tactics are the same as the Eastern. They just give it to you in a different package with a different bow. That your soul's going to be destroyed by God, thrown into the lake of fire with the Nephilim, the fallen angels. It's all BS, people. It's all BS. God, an ever and all-loving God, there is no judgment. Don't you get that? And Christians will argue with this and say, oh no, that's God wants to punish his kids to walk in the right ways, and how would you feel if your children didn't worship you and all that? People, we are all connected to God. I mean, we are all a part of God. He doesn't need to judge you. You're experiencing, you're bringing data back. You are an explorer. You're doing what you're meant to do. We come into this world of duality to experience duality, to understand love and hate, to do good and bad. Now, I'm not sitting here preaching that, hey, it's cool if you go, do stuff to people, evil stuff and all that. No, I am not saying that. But you come here, you do it. You have a soul contract before you come here. And you come here to have good and bad done to you, and to do good and bad in certain ways, to commit sin, as you could say. That it's all part of the experience. It's learning. This is a classroom. It's not a judgment. It's not a prison that you get judged. I mean, look, the programming is super strong in religious people, and they're not going to see what I'm trying to say. They actually want to believe in this heaven and hell BS because it makes them feel, I guess, good that they've been sitting in a church pew for the last 20 years every Sunday, and that they're putting money in that tray every time it comes around. They feel like they're justified, and they'd feel like, wow, if the people that didn't do that don't burn in hell, oh my God, it's been a ripoff. This was wrong. But it's not like that, people. It's from the people that have been on the other side, people that that know how to leave their body and that have been mapping the other side. None of that is true. Now, when you first cross over, Can you have experiences of hell and all that? Absolutely. And the reason is because you've been so programmed with that bullshit that when you first cross over, you create that reality on the other side. Because see, once you're out of the body, you have total access to your full spirit self. You have total access to the Akashic records, to the knowledge of the universe. And you have pure creative abilities unchecked by the human body. You can manifest instantaneously. So if you've been thinking you were bad and you didn't pray right and you're going to go to hell, guess what? When you cross over, you're going to experience hell. You create it. And then you have enough of the torture and you finally say enough, no more, and it goes away. And then you go to the light, right? That's what the people that have had that experience say. But the funny thing is, they say once they get out of that hell that they created, their guides even explain to them, or their higher self, like, look, you created that. You had to experience it because you expected it. Just the same as people that have Yeshua come meet them when they pass. Same thing. Your whole life you've been programmed to be ready for that instant that Yeshua comes to meet you. Well, guess what? That's going to happen when you cross over. Because that is what you expect and you manifest it. But it's all man-made, people. That is the absolute truth of this world. You should not fear. You are everlasting. You live forever. You are a God. You are a child of God. You have immense creative powers. You have immense ability within the construct that the Creator created. You're expected to be a creator. You're expected to experience. You are expected to be the hero you've always been hoping for. It's as simple as that. It doesn't matter if you're a vegan. It doesn't matter what crystals you have, or it doesn't matter how much you pray. It doesn't matter if you pray to the right God. It doesn't matter if you know, what kind of karmic debts you think you're stacking up. None of that, all of it's BS, man. You are an immortal spirit having a human experience, and you chose to come here, and you judge yourself. You don't punish yourself necessarily after you exit here, but you see what your actions did. You see how you interacted with other spirits, with this realm. You see the good you did, the bad you did. You review that. You look at that. It's almost like once you leave here, it's like you want to go back over all your notes and you want to see how you did in this game, right? And so you go and you review all that. And then you see, man, I really, maybe should have been a better person. I got, I did hurt these people. I did do good here. I did a lot. I helped these people. But you are the one judging yourself. That's what every single person says. Not one person that's had an out-of-body experience or a near-death experience that's crossed over and crossed back has ever said that God's sitting on a throne and he's opening a book and judging you based on your deeds. That is not anywhere near the realm of reality, okay? That's all man-made, and it's from the beginning. Every religion that's ever been created has either been to trick humans into worshiping other spirits as gods on earth, like the Anunnaki, the Inuna. Those were the first gods. They were at least advanced humans, if not spiritual beings that didn't come through the female portal the proper way to incarnate into this world. They came directly here and they acted as gods. Perhaps it was their job to kind of guide humanity through the first steps of civilization, all that. I don't know. I don't really care. But the point is that they were not gods, or essentially they were gods, but they were no better than you or me. They just tricked everybody to think that. Those that incarnated through the human avatar, they tricked them. Because part of the contract when you come here is you're not allowed, you're cut off from the knowledge that you know from the spirit realm. Because it's not going to be an experience if you come in here knowing all that, right? How are you going to fall for all this propaganda? How are you going to follow a religion if you come here knowing that religion's all BS? How are you going to come here worshiping a government or a system knowing that it's all man-made BS for control and fear? You're once you have this enlightenment, you're ungovernable. You are past this new age spirituality, past religion, the dogmas of religion. Once you're enlightened to this information I'm teaching you and I'm telling you, explaining to you, once you understand it, it'll resonate in your soul. And trust me, you may rail against me. That's the programming railing against me right now. Like I said, it's strong, man. Since you were a kid, you've been propagandized and programmed. But I guarantee you, when you start thinking about what I'm telling you, it's going to resonate with you, because the truth is a sword and it cuts through the BS. Most of what Yeshua taught was spot on, absolutely spot on, but his teachings were manipulated. The book was written long after Yeshua was gone. Most of the Bible was written, it wasn't even written by his followers. That's a misconception most Christians have. And I'm not even going to go into the Muslim religion because, I mean, my God, it's quite obvious that that's a religion of bondage. They're a little more harsh, a little more hardcore than Christian beliefs. But it's still essentially just BS to control humanity. That's what it's always been about. How do you control spirits, and how do you harvest spirits for energy and power and creativity? You do exactly what has been done on Earth to every human being, to every spirit that is incarnated here. You put them into a fear-based mind control system, whether that be religion, a type of spirituality, a governmental structure. It's always been that way. And you'll find that typically the people that have psychopathic tendencies usually tend to be the ones pushing that BS on you. I don't know if they come here playing a part and that's their job to create that duality. It could be. Maybe we've all at one point been that person in this world, you know? But karma's BS. You do not carry karma from life to life and have to pay or get rewarded based on that karma. That's all BS. Religion, fear the destruction of the soul of the lake of fire. BS. Fear not, people. And these governments, they're just iron-fisted, jackbooted thugs. Once again, they control the population through fear. Most of your corporations get you to buy their shit through fear. Fear is the greatest tool used to manipulate humans in this world. And it's so obvious. Just look around you. Look at the structure of this world. Everything is fear-based mind control. So there you have it. What everybody's been searching for their whole lives, you have it. You are an immortal spirit. You are immensely powerful. You have unlimited creative abilities and potential. However, you are limited in this human body, but you can still heal people energetically. You can still create amazing things. You can create whatever life you want to, but you got to act on it. You don't just think it. Manifesting ain't just thinking, I want $1 million. If you want $1 million, hey man, you hustle. When you're not at work, you better be hustling 24/7. You better be thinking up ideas to make money, to create products and services, and follow through with that. If you want to be a millionaire, you can do it. If you sit on your ass just praying for God to financially help you, if you sit on your ass, meditating on, manifesting, tons of money, you ain't going to get shit. That's just the truth. You're going to be in the same spot you're in. You have to invest energy into creativity to make it a reality in this world. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the talk. Like I said, I probably offended everybody, people that are, spiritualists, like, I'm very spiritual. I'm more spiritual because I meditate and I eat vegan food and I have tons of crystals and all this and that. It's all BS, man. It's like, we all, doesn't matter, the lowest and the highest in this world, all come from the same source. We all have our own unique personality. Ego's not a bad thing. That is your personality. Everybody tells you, the spiritual side says spiritualism is like, oh, you got to shut your ego down, all that. Man, that's your personality. Be you. Be you. What you are that's your personality. People on the other side say, when you go on the other side, that's your consciousness, your personality is still you. That's the same. You carry that on. It's like these people think like, oh, you got to put away your ego, and then when you go into the spirit realm, it's like you're a different being or something, and you were different here as you were in the spirit realm. No, man, that is your personality. Live it, love it, be it, and don't be afraid, people. Always search. Hey, if you don't want to, if nothing I said resonates with you, that's fine. You follow your own path, okay? But everybody since the beginning of time has been asking, why are we here? What is this? What are we? What is, what else is after this? Hey, man, that's it. You're an everlasting spirit. You've been here many times. You are you're a dimension traveler. You're a realm traveler. You incarnate into different human avatars, but you were created with your own unique personality, and you are immensely powerful, and you have immense creative abilities given to you by your creator, and which you are one with, and completely always connected to. You do not need to go worship at a church. I mean, there isn't no special way. You're always connected to that creator. You're part of it. You are doing what you were meant to do. Experience his creation, or its creation, I should say. I know we like to put the whole masculine twist on most religions, but which is funny because we incarnate on earth through the female vessel, through the divine feminine. We incarnate on earth. At least those of us that come the proper way into this world. Maybe there are spirits that pass that go around that, and they're the ones that like to manipulate this world and rule it and pretend like they're gods on earth. But the funny thing is, they fear us because they all know that we can do as much as they can, and perhaps even more. So once we figure out what and who we are. So anyways, hey, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Please come follow me on different platforms. Facebook is the main platform I built this brand on, but we're continuing to grow YouTube here. I already know that we're probably not going to get promoted on this platform. I've had a lot of trouble with Rumble, but eventually I'll be mirroring all my videos on Rumble also, so that'll be a fallback on. But we are doing decent. I'd like to see us keep growing. I want to hit the point where we can do some lives, because essentially I really want to get to know you guys, more, and be able to interact more directly with you guys. So anyways, I will talk to you later.